Hello, and welcome back to Electronic Game Information's Game of the Year Awards 2018. Starting last night, we had a lot of fun. We talked about the game I made up. Joining me tonight are our dear friends of the show, Cricket Arrison and Ben O'Brien. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Cool.
Great.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to have you here. It's wonderful that you guys could take the time out to offer some insight into the state of video gaming today. I had sent y'all some hunter costumes from the game Bloodborne.
Cool.
In the mail.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And they got to you guys in time. They
Oh
did?
yeah.
I thought,
Yeah,
they
I
were
got
awesome.
them yesterday. Thank you.
Super creative, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Usually people wear the costumes to the show. It's sort of part of the whole.
Yeah. It makes a lot
The
of sense.
universe of the show is that we're, being characters. That we're representing a kind of a big. It's all about video games.
Oh my
So Bloodborne is a pretty popular video game. The hunters are.
Yeah.
You're just so creative.
Okay.
I love that.
I love that too.
We had a lot of fun last night. Some people were helping me come out with some names for the game that I made up, and I thought I would share some of those that I liked. Spawn and Shadowhawk, Liberty for All was one that sort of came out of the conversation that we were having with the callers.
Okay. By Spawn, you mean like the Spawn, like
Yeah, from like Todd McFarlane's Spawn
so someone
from
else's
Image Comics.
Someone else's character. Okay, no, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
No, it's part of the kind of thing that the game is sort of about, like reclaiming these Image comic characters that didn't really get a chance to have very good video games attached to them. So it's sort of like it's about reclaiming that and making something that's like draws in a lot of influence from those comics, but like is sort of trying to do it like one better, like kind of how like Sonic Mania is like they took like levels from Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sorry. Alan just texted me.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for being here. It's great to have some friends here to share this special time of year. I don't want to, I know that I told you guys that we were going to talk about the kind of best games of the year and talk about what games you guys liked, but I did have a kind of vision last night. I was lying in bed, I was kind of looking up at the ceiling, I was thinking about all the things that I think about at the end of the day, just like, did I do a good job? Did I eat too much sugar? When am I going to actually have enough time to finish Dragon Age Inquisition? And that's when it hit me, like a ton of luminous stones. Where are Spawn and Shadowhawk gonna store all the extra inventory? I mean, hear me out. This is a big game. We're talking an 80-hour plus main storyline quest, and we're not even close to that number once you start adding in all the secondary quests and side quests. I mean, this isn't just about like one town, Gloomsbrook. This is about a whole region. Colonial New England. There's going to be other towns, little villages, settlements, cave systems, kind of antediluvian dungeons where they store magical weapons. It's going to be like Skyrim meets Betrayer meets Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So there's going to be, in other words, there's going to be a lot of loot. So, we're like Cricket. Like, where do you think Spawn and Shadowhawk are going to store all their loot?
Is there like a cubby they can get to?
No. It's going to be. Okay, a cubby is that's like a cubby. Like, what do you mean, like a cupboard?
Like a cubby, like it's like you walk in and there's like
a
closet.
It's
open. No, like a closet has a door, but a cubby, it's nice because you can get stuff out of it really fast.
Okay, so that's one idea. Ben, what about you? Where do you think that Spawn and Shadowhawk, they're having this big adventure, they're traveling all around colonial 17th century New England. Where do you think they're going to where are they going to put all the stuff that they find? All the extra stuff that they can't carry around? Because there is going to, I will also say this is a caveat, there is going to be a limit to how much you can carry.
A what?
A limit to how much you can carry, like how much weight that you can, that the characters can, how much stuff that they can carry at one time.
Wait, are they real? They're like...
No, I mean, yes. So Spawn is a character, is a superhero from the Image comics, and so is Shadowhawk.
Okay.
So first of all, I have to go in like 10 minutes, but to answer your question, I don't care about where to keep loot. It doesn't matter. No one cares. You can just have the loot pulled out of thin air. No one cares.
Okay.
But first, what I thought about was a backpack. And then Cricket said cubby, and now I kind of think cubby's cool.
Okay, so you're both wrong. Let's take a step back and then kind of try to imagine the situation. Okay, so you got two superheroes. They're out of time. They're gathering these items.
Superheroes?
Yes, they're superheroes. Spawn and Shadowhawk are superheroes from Image Comics in the 1990s. So 90% of the time, they're going to be gathering items, like plants or like nails or just like little bits of wood that they see on the ground, or like spring. If they fight like a mechanical creature, there would be like, man, it's really not a lot of room. They'd be fighting like a mechanical creature, so like they would get like springs or gears out of that. So 90% of the time, you're not going to know what that's for.
Robby.
So you're going to want, but they're collectible, so there's a purpose, right?
Did you ever play Fortnite?
No,
Tons of loot.
Okay.
They do nothing. They build stuff. No nails. They don't care.
Yeah, but that's
everybody loves that game.
That's not immersive.
That's
That's like it's like part of like it's like.
You ever been on an island with 99 people trying to kill you? Sounds immersive to me. I was just saying that maybe that's unnecessary.
I will say that has its merits, but I also don't think that with the type of character. This is a character-based game. So you want to have a little bit of, they have to be grounded in some kind of. Is Alan still texting you?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's an Alan.
They've got to be grounded in some kind of reality. So I was toying with the idea that maybe they could buy a house, like how like in Skyrim they could buy houses and you could put like all your extra stuff in Skyrim. But the problem that I have with that is that when you have everything in one place and you want to sell, or if you have multiple houses, obviously that's kind of makes it less of a problem. But if you have everything in like one or two places and you want to sell, and that like, the best merchant to sell all of these extra older swords is in this one town, then you have to go back to your house, get all the swords, and maybe like leave some stuff behind that would be kind of necessary. And then go and sell that to that merchant, and maybe have like a good relationship with another merchant. So you want to sell something.
Now, I think Skyrim's cool.
Yeah. So, but the problem with that is that this isn't we're not talking about like Skyrim's about like a freed prisoner who's like already living in a world that he or she is relatively familiar with. So this is about Spawn and Shadowhawk.
Wait, is Skyrim a game that already exists, or is that the game you're making?
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that there's going to be a wagon, because I don't think Spawn and Shadowhawk would buy anything in the world of this in this. I don't think Spawn and Shadowhawk want to buy anything in 17th century America. So a wagon they can take around with them wherever they go. They can take it to dungeons. They can like, as soon as they get out, they can like put all the stuff they found in the dungeon into the wagon.
Okay.
They, like horse-drawn. It's like a mobile base. It's like
get it.
It's like the Resident Evil treasure chest on wheels.
They keep their stuff there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, let's go to the calls and let's see if we can. What do you guys think of the wagon idea? Hi, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We're talking about this wagon idea that I have for storing all of Spawn and Shadowhawk's extra loot.
Hello?
Hi, how are you doing? You're on Electronic Game Information. We're talking about the wagon.
Talking about wagons.
Yes, the wagon that Spawn and Shadowhawk use to keep all of their loot in.
Oh, so it's kind of like a mobile hub or like base?
Yeah, sort of like exactly. It's like a mobile.
Okay.
It's like a mobile base. It's like a mobile command center.
Is that kind of similar to like that mine palace you go into in Idivine Cybermancy where you get all your like techno upgrades and spend your brozus for upgrades?
Yeah, basically, it's like you can go there. You can like there'll be like workbenches so they can like build out. If Shadowhawk wants to build those like dual gauntlet things, you can build that there.
Weapons.
Yeah,
Okay.
special weapons. There'll be an alchemy like area so that like they can mix magical potions or make them like stronger. Or
All right, so like upgrades and buffs.
And like we were talking,
Okay.
and we were
Alright,
talking last
upgrades.
night about how there might be other like characters in the Image comics that would be in the game. So it's like you want to have the they would want to store their stuff in there too.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just about like having something that's mobile that goes where they go. It's like fast travels with them if they fast travel. It's just some place where they can store all their extra stuff so they
Can you
don't have to
upgrade
travel
this
back.
wagon for to like hold more things and
Yes.
Like, could you add
Okay.
cubbies to it?
The
Oh,
idea
yeah,
is
I
that
want
you
a cubby
wouldn't
on
need a
that.
cubby because you have the wagon.
Oh.
I think if you can fit a cubby, you should think about it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the. Hi, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We're talking about the wagon. It's a mobile command center. It's the mobile base that Spawn and Shadowhawk use in the game that I made up. The adventure RPG, action RPG that I made up. That they go around, they collect loot, and they put it into the wagon. What do you think of the wagon?
Yeah, I really like the wagon. I just want to see, like you could have them go inside, and I think a really good way to keep all of their items organized would be that they have a lot of cubbies in the wagon.
Yeah. Okay. So we can.
Like, because you can organize within the wagon in this really.
Yeah, so
like,
everything
that's-
is already organized because it's not like an actual physical wagon that they go into, Cricket. It's like a wagon that has, it's like a series, like you like click on the wagon and it's like a bunch of menus come up, and then all those menus have like weapons, armor, potions,
Okay.
upgrade materials. So and those are, if you want to think about it like this way, those menus are kind of like the cubbies that you're talking about.
Right. Okay. So you have like a weapons cubby and a potions cubby.
Sure, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to
Okay.
be called cubbies.
You're
They'll
gonna
be
need
they'll
a
be
label
menus.
maker, so that you can see what's supposed to go into every cubby.
Well, are you talking about like typing out like a label on every
Yeah.
menu?
Can I just say that
So custom menus.
Can I just say
We're
that I
talking
think-
about. I'm not saying I disagree with you. It's a little bit. I think most people that are going to play a game like this are probably going to be familiar with the idea of separate menus for separate. Hi, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We're talking about the wagon and the menus or cubbies.
Cubbies.
They're not
Yeah,
cubbies.
okay, so first of all, it's Marco here.
Hi,
I
how are
think
you
the
doing?
cubbies are a horrible idea.
It's not a horrible idea. I mean, let's not be too hasty. There's there's no bad ideas in. What is that word?
Sure.
Cubbies.
And so we want to just make sure people have their we're all talking about the exact same thing. Okay, I'm talking about menus. Cricket's talking about menus. She's just calling them cubbies.
Can I just say something? I think, like I said, I think the inventory doesn't need it. Wagon, bad idea. Cubby's kind of cool, but I would just wanted to say the label maker that Cricket was talking about absolutely needs to be in the game.
Yeah, because that way people have like control over like where they put their stuff, and they'll be able to find it really quickly.
What do
'Cause
you
if
think
you're-
about the label maker?
Okay, so caller, do you have any ideas of things that you would do in the wagon?
Man, I think there should be multiple horses. Like there should be like 8 of them to make it go really
Definitely
fast.
not.
Like 8. Like
8
8 of
horses.
them.
I think. I
That's
mean,
impossible.
most wagons at this time period, you could probably get away with 4. I mean, I was planning on 4. But 8's a good number.
Well, what if they get in trouble? How are they going to get around as fast as possible?
Well, fast traveling.
Oh yeah, you thinking of that? What if there's no? I don't know, man. You gotta think of this.
I mean, I appreciate you. I think 4 horses is enough. Thank you for your call.
All right.
Okay, so we have a short video poem about the wagon. Let's check that out. And we are back. So we are talking about the wagon. So we're actually gonna, we left off last night we were trying to talk a little bit about the battle system, but I do want to kind of give a little bit more backstory about the wagon. So we're actually going to skip forward, and we're going to talk about how you get the wagon, which is, of course, you have to talk to the blacksmith in Gloomsbrook. But the blacksmith is missing. And so the way that you connect to the blacksmith is through his son, who's been running around unsupervised, and his son is Philip. From the last time that the last chunk of episodes that we did, we talked a lot about Philip, who is a child in the town, and Spawn and Shadowhawk had a conversation with him, and they're gonna meet up with him one more time after they finish the first dungeon under Jasper's house. And Philip is gonna say, "Oh, I see you've survived the trial under Jasper's house. What fun! Soon Jasper will be sleeping soundly once again, thanks to you. He will not be afraid of things crawling out of his basement. I wonder what Jasper dreams about, don't you? Philip dreams about shells on the beach. Isn't that silly? An endless span of beach covered in shells of all shapes, and Philip, that's my name, Philip, don't you remember? Philip wonders where all the animals that had those shells on their backs have gone. Just a dream, but still Philip wonders. They left them behind, their shells, their little homes, all of their little houses filling up with sand and water on the beach. I will tell you of one night I dreamt of the shelves on the beach. Oh, don't look so impatient. I know you are very busy. There are so many basements besides the one under Jasper's house. I've gotten lost poking my nose into other people's basements. I love to poke my nose and wander and be lost. Philip goes wherever he wants because he is small and strange. Tra-la-la! Oh, but I was going to tell you about my funny dream. Maybe I will ask you questions later to see if you're paying attention. Okay, so you guys don't have a lot to do right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is so Philip is having a conversation with Spawn and Shadowhawk. So would you guys read Spawn and Shadowhawk's lines?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let me go print up a couple more copies of the script for you guys, and I will be right back. So don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna go print these up.
Okay. Cool. Joseph Park. What?
I don't get who Shadowhawk and Spawn are.
It doesn't matter.
It seems like Spawn is.
Yeah. Some people know. Yeah. It's like a John Leguizamo movie from the 90s. Superhero from Hell or something like that. So it's just something for Robby.
Okay, I really want to support him, but I don't, like, I'm trying to follow along. I'm trying to do a good job, but I just, like,
I can't keep doing this stuff at the drop of a hat.
I've played Minesweeper,
Yeah.
but that, like,
I'm sorry, did you say Minesweeper?
no, Minesweeper, it's like, it's a grid.
Yeah. No, I know
And you
Minesweeper.
can- No, it's like really cool. You like
Okay.
the list,
Yeah.
and like some of it is like math, where like it'll tell you how many mines are next to
Yeah,
a
yeah.
square.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that is the kind of thing that like I was prepared to talk about because he's
Okay.
prepared to-
Here are your scripts. Let me just
Cool.
skip ahead, make sure we're all right. So that Cricket, why don't you read Spawn, and Ben, why don't you read? I mean, it's obvious.
Let me
If
guess.
Cricket is reading Spawn, yeah, you're going to read Shadowhawk. There's the lines there.
Next, okay.
And
gotcha.
let me get you guys some highlighters.
Oh, hey,
We have highlighters.
Guess
You
what?
have highlighters.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah, yeah.
highlighters.
We got
You came
'em.
prepared. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. All right. Here we go. All right. Just 1 second, and we will get back.
Wait, I'm Spawn,
into
right?
You're Spawn.
Okay.
He's Shadowhawk, and
Shadowhawk.
I am still reading Philip, the strange child that Spawn and Shadowhawk come across in the beginning of the quest.
Just a second.
Where they? Yes.
I have to text somebody just to let them know I'm going to be late,
Okay. Just take your time.
just before you explain what we're going to do.
This part, I'm so excited about this part. I'm just really honored that
Yes.
you would.
Well, it's a big crucial part of the game also. So it's like, I want to get as much of the lines
yeah.
written and kind of locked in as possible, so we can kind of make sure that everything is.
Ooh,
All right.
I'm good.
No, this is good. I love acting in like little like passion projects when
Yes.
it's just like a small thing where you can
Yeah.
kind of like do whatever you want because
Yeah.
it's like it's just for you, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
No,
love
no, no.
that.
This is going to be. This
It's
is a big game.
inspiring.
No, this is a big project. This is going to be a
Oh, yeah. No,
popular
no,
game.
no,
I
of
mean, we're
course.
talking
Yeah.
about. We're using characters that a lot of people know about, and
I
okay.
just-
So thank you for saying that.
Yes.
It's going to be popular, and let's go back into the conversation with Philip. All right, sometimes in my dream of the shells on the beach, it is day, and sometimes it is night. The time I will tell you about, it was night. Did you guess it? Tra-la-la! It was so very dark. My goodness, the moon was covered in clouds. It would have been pitch dark, and I would not have been able to see the shells, but lucky in my dream, I had a lantern. Lucky Philip, strange but lucky, that's what they say. The lantern made such a light, and
Oh my
all the
God.
little shells made such funny shadows, I couldn't help but laugh. Tra-la-la! I was having such fun that I decided to take a walk so I could see more shadows, as
Oh my
many as
God.
I could see. Oh, wouldn't it be fun to have a little box that I could use to collect shadows?
Are you kidding
I
me?
walked, and strange
Wait,
little
like
Phil-
a cubby for the shadows?
No, like a no. It's a metaphor.
Oh.
It's Philip is kind of like he's a child.
No, it's
He's-
okay. Just it's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So
Let's
I
go.
walked, and strange and little Philip all by himself. There were so many shells all over the beach. With every step, I crushed so many of them. If any of the little animals who left their shells behind ever returned, they would be very sad indeed. Their little holes crushed by Philip in the night. I was having such a nice time in my dreams with the shadows and the sounds. I could hear the waves making their noise while I crushed the shells step after step. It was my lovely dream. But then something happened, something very frightening. Should I tell you? Oh, maybe I should not, because it is too frightening. And then Spawn says,
Okay. Not a lot frightens me anymore. I've been to the scariest place there is.
and then Shadowhawk says,
Where's that?
Hell itself.
okay, let's take a, can we rewind those a little bit? So
You needed us to read those
yeah, I
lines?
would like you to read the lines again.
That's cool.
Take a little bit more serious this time. Kind of try to get into the character. Spawn is, of course, someone who, a former mercenary who was killed by his partner, went to hell, sold his soul to a demon, Malboja, in order to...
What was that? Arbosia?
Malboja, M-A-L-A-E-L, Boja, he sold it to the demon so he could see his wife again. But when he got back to Earth, he was Spawn, and his wife was married again. Shadowhawk is, of course,
I got it.
Okay. So just let's
playing
try to
him-
read
I'm playing
those
him
again.
kinda-
A little gravity. I mean, Philip is
Yeah.
of course a fun character, but Spawn and Shadowhawk, they kind of ground
I
everything.
kinda
So
feel
it's
like-
not every character can have that same lightness. So try to bring it down with
Gotcha,
a
gotcha.
heaviness.
All right,
We're
all right.
heavy. We're heavy now.
All right, I'll
Okay,
just
so
act like I don't want to be here.
start with Spawn's line again. Thank you.
Not a lot frightens me anymore. I've been to the scariest place there is.
Shadowhawk.
Where's that?
Hell itself.
Okay, so Cricket, I love you're taking some chances with it. Can we roll the slides back one more time? We're just going to try one more time. Cricket, you're going to want to be you're not so sad. You're just determined. You're grave. You've been to the grave. You've been dead, and now you're walking, and you're out of time. You don't know where you are. You're a little frustrated because this little kid who clearly is possessed by some kind of a spirit because he's having like these crazy dreams. So
Robbie?
take it back. Yeah.
This time I'm going to try it kind of detached and a little low energy and see where that goes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
It's not really what Shadowhawk would do. Shadowhawk's a little bit more
But
activated.
what's the context though? Where is he right now? Because
They're
I feel like
talking
he's
to-
not.
they're-
He doesn't want to be there.
They were just in the dungeon underneath. I sent you guys
He's in a
a
dungeon.
cheat sheet of everything that happened last episode. Then it had all these beats about where they
But see, that's
spawned
something
Shadowhawk.
also something I don't get. Why wouldn't you just send us the episode to watch?
The whole episode.
You sent us.
It-
You
it's- I
wrote
did.
up what happened in the episode.
It's
like a
it's on the
psycho
internet.
and sent us
It's
that.
they're all archived.
Yeah, I know, but you
I,
sent
I,
us-
I'll
No, it was-
put a link
it's
at the.
like-
You sent us like a
Okay,
long.
so can we
okay.
just we're gonna read
thing
we're gonna just
that
read
we
the
had to
lines.
read
We're gonna
when we
read
could
the
just
lines
watch
one more
the
time.
Episode. It was
You're
weird.
just gonna-
Okay, no, go ahead.
Okay, so
I remember
read
the dungeon.
Spawn.
So my
Shadowhawk.
wife died, but I'm not sad.
And I'm
No,
in a
you-
dungeon,
you
but I'm
died.
wicked excited about it.
You
so we
died
got
and
it.
you came
Let's do it.
back you came back because of your wife. You sold your soul, but you came back and you were
No,
not
we got
you
it.
were
Let's
not
do it.
Al Simmons anymore. You were Spawn, and your wife was remarried to
yeah.
your best friend. But your best friend is not the one who killed. Was not your partner.
Okay.
I think this might be too much information.
No,
It's all
I
it all
can,
goes.
I
It
wanna,
all,
I'm,
it all you internalize all this stuff.
I'm a professional.
I don't like to know anything about my characters.
Okay, so let's go back and read those lines again because Philip. They're talking to Philip, and Philip knows where his dad is, hopefully, and
All
you
right,
can
I'm,
get to that
I'm
wagon.
going off book for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a lot frightens me anymore. I've been to the scariest place there is.
Where's that?
Hell itself.
Oh, stop! You mustn't speak when Philip is speaking. Such strange and brave outsiders. Nothing frightens you. I can see that. Well, don't worry because Philip is strange too. Tra-la-la! I'll tell you what I saw. I walked until I came upon a very large cell, as big as Philip. Do you know how it is when you dream? You can make such fun things happen. I thought to myself, maybe this shell could be a house for Philip. One day, maybe I will find out what you strange outsiders dream about. But that day is far, far away. Tra-la-la! And,
Wait, can I ask a question?
yeah.
Is Philip small enough to go into a shell?
No, the shell was big. It's a dream world, so
See,
okay, so
I didn't get that.
he was in the dream that he's having. It's nighttime. He's got a lantern. He's walking along this beach. There's the shells underneath, and he just gets to a shell that's just as big as he is, and he's like thinking about all the little animals that lived in the shells.
Wait, so a bunch of little animals lived in a big shell all together?
No,
and
that's
then
part of that's kind of the mystery, the terror, the kind of the terror and the mystery of what the dream is because if there's a big empty shell on the beach, then obviously there was a big creature.
Okay.
Okay. So
I didn't get that, but
Okay.
that's okay because I'm probably not like the audience that you're going for. So I'm just saying I didn't get it.
I think if this is going to be the kind of game that it should be, then we should have as much of a wide appeal as possible. So that any feedback at this point, can help. Try to limit your feedback a little bit because we do have to explain how Philip.
Then can I give you a critique?
Okay.
Just throw out the whole idea you have for this game right now, start over. And
Okay.
here's what I'm saying. How long? So, when I was in high school,
Okay.
my teacher was like, read this book if you want to graduate. And guess what?
Okay.
I didn't. I played Quake.
Okay.
Because Quake is a game where you can take a chainsaw right up to like a guy's head. Guess how long it takes? 5 minutes. You're in the game. You're cutting someone's head off.
I think
guess what? I didn't read a book. Your game's
Okay.
kind of like the book, is what I'm saying.
Right.
And I didn't even graduate. That's how much I didn't want to do that,
Okay.
and that nobody wants to read.
No, I
People
think
want to. So how long does it take in your game to the point where you have a gun up to someone's head? And
well, there's not really. There's a blunderbuss that Spawn gets
What's that?
later in the game, but it's like a rifle with a big trumpet on the end of it.
So it's like an instrument, too?
It's like a powdery. It's a powder-based firearm
Yeah.
that Spawn
No.
can use.
I don't think it's going to
Matt.
work. I don't think the game's going to work.
No,
but-
it'll work because here's the thing: is that you start to build an expectation once you have the wagon, and once you start like realizing that you can craft things. You can. You're not just locked in with
Yeah.
Spawn's necroplasm.
Yeah.
You're not just locked in with Shadowhawk's claws. Like there's things that you can build, so you know that like as once you.
Yeah, and then
you
a zombie
understand-
comes up to you and wow, what do you do?
Okay.
What happens?
Well,
and then a spider,
in
a big
reg-
spider
well,
comes at you.
a big spider or a zombie.
Yeah.
At any point in the game, you do the same thing. You attack. I mean, it instigates the
So
combat.
there is attacking.
Yes, there
There's
is,
fighting.
and you sort of like if you let's talk about the spider. So the spider is going to be kind of like moving around like kind of quickly. So you want to have Spawn kind of at the back of the arena
All right,
area.
see, this is still too much. I feel like I'm reading a train schedule. Just like,
okay.
give me something. You know what I mean? We don't want to go to a museum here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
We
do
want
think that people like museums.
we want to get guns. We want to upgrade our guns. We want to shoot our guns. We want to build ramps. We want to build walls. We want to climb, and we want to deploy our gliders and fly around and shoot other people on an island.
But this is in New England, and you don't have to have a lot of that stuff because you have a wagon, which kind of takes care of a lot of the.
All right, cool. No,
how
I love
you
it. I
kind of
love the idea.
personalize
I
your-
love the idea. I
your
love the
game
wagon.
experience.
Yeah, with
I
the
love the idea.
labels.
I think the idea is great. I think the cubbies are awesome, and I think that we should move on.
But here's what I like. Well, first off, this is just gonna bug me if I don't say
Go ahead.
something. The chainsaw was in Doom, so I think that this is going to be something that appeals to people that understand kind of the history of gaming as it sort of evolved alongside the history of comic books.
I'm Googling this chainsaw thing.
Wait.
Um,
Never mind.
Maybe you're thinking of the axe in Quake.
No, I was thinking there's a chainsaw in Quake. Just I don't
Okay,
wanna
so
talk about it.
let's go to the phones and tell me what you guys think about this.
Yeah. So what do you guys
the
think
game so far?
about the game?
Obviously,
The
we have a
game.
lot of things that are going on.
The game.
This would be a great time to get some feedback so far. I mean, we've
Yeah.
covered a lot
Can
of
you
the
guys give us your
play mechanics
feedback on
and
the
a lot
game?
of the
Hello?
characters. Hi, how are
Hi,
you
we'd
doing?
like some feedback
Electronic
on
Game Information.
Robby's
This
game.
is the
Wait,
Game of the Year Awards
what's your
2018.
name? What's your name?
My name's Luke.
Hey, Luke, have
Hi,
you ever played a
Luke.
game before?
Sorry, what was that?
You play games? Are you a game guy?
They're
Game
asking you if
person,
you
game
played,
game
I
guy?
am,
video
I am
game.
a game guy. Are we still talking about the game you made up, Robbie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're talking about
we-
the game.
Okay,
you made
it's
up.
not a, it's no need to be in quotes. It's a game that I am making
That
up.
he made up.
I'm
Could
creating.
I ask a question about
It's in
that?
a
I was kind of
pre-pro-
curious about
I
something.
won't put quotes around
It's
the
in
game.
an early stage. It's
a
a pre-alpha
game
stage of development.
that Robby made up.
Hey guys, hey Ben,
Yeah.
you give Robbie a break. He's been working really hard on this.
Okay, cool.
and,
You don't know
like,
what happens
No,
behind
look,
the scenes,
I-
but
He-
thanks for your advice.
He invited you
Person
on
who
his
doesn't know
show,
me
and
or
you're
Robby.
kind of like you're kind
Personally?
of like breaking the circle of trust right now, man. He invited you on his show, and like, he's been working really hard on
That's
this,
cool.
and I think you just need to give him a break.
No, I get it.
You know?
It's Luke. I
You see
appreciate, I
Robby
appreciate you standing
one
up for
hour a
me.
day. I see him for 24 hours a day, so you know what you're talking about. But anyway, tell me how excited you are about this wagon. Tell me what you're going to do in the wagon, how much the wagon excites you as a person who plays games, and how
And-
much you can't wait to just hear Marcel
Oh, I'm
or
excited about the
Jasper or
wagon. Yeah, I
Philip
had a
talk.
question about that. You were talking
for
about
a
like
while.
the,
yeah, question
sort
about
of-
the wagon.
Yeah, you're sort of talking about like the sort of crafting aspect and stuff about it. I kind of wanted to know like a bit, like some more details about that, about how you come across like the tools and the materials you need for crafting and like
All right, we
what
get
does
the-
upgrade
we got-
stuff? How does that
we got
happen?
How
it.
you
crafting,
organize
crafting.
all those tools,
No,
right?
well, no, you don't need to organize the,
Now
the tools.
that
are
I'm interested in.
Yes.
The tools
you
are
do,
automatically
yes.
organized.
How do you
into-
organize so many
The tools are organized automatically into menus and
Into cubbies.
it's
Look,
it's
So
you come across materials and schematics and tools. Everything
Schematics?
is yes. Well, you have to have schematics because that's how.
what is this?
that's-
Is this IKEA?
No,
you, like,
it's-
you know what I love?
Yeah.
so it's-
I love reading books
maybe
and going to
there could be
IKEA.
When you
an
come across-
IKEA in the game, and then you can get little like boxes to organize all of the stuff.
Thank you for your
that
call.
get.
We had another caller on the line. You're on with electronic game information. We're talking a little bit about how Luke had a question about how they are able to use the crafting benches
Yeah.
in the
Hi, how you
wagon.
doing? This is the Game of the Year Awards where we talk about a game that doesn't exist that Robby made up. Go ahead, tell us what you think.
I agree with Ben. I think there should be a lot of ramp building and wall building. I think in
this
today's
is what I'm
market
talking
for
about.
games, that's a
There's-
very
there's
important
not- there-
You need
aspect.
loot.
There's
You
loot.
need-
There's loot.
There's loot, but you just keep the loot on you. You don't need a wagon. You can keep because you can store up to 999 wood on you without. You could just keep that on you. You pull it out of thin air. No one cares.
But you don't
And it's
need
awesome.
to build anything like a ramp when you're going into like a dungeon that's been there since like before.
okay,
the
yeah, a
Bible
zombie
was written.
comes at you. You don't have your gun. You don't get your gun out. What do? You ramp them.
You move around, or you have spawn hit them. You have spawn
how
hit
do
them
you
with
get
the
high
knife.
ground?
But
Hi,
have
you're on
you
the air with
ever
electronic
gotten
game information. We
all
are
the
talking
way-
about.
where I just want to say this one thing. Have you ever gotten all the way to the end of a game of Minesweeper, and then you realize you marked something wrong as a mine, and you have to go back and redo it all? Hello?
Hello?
Did you hear the question? Have you ever played a game of Minesweeper and you get to the end and you
No,
realize
I never
you
got to the end.
Oh.
I could never figure it out.
There's,
It's a
I
hard
mean, there's
game.
people that want to play stuff like Minesweeper, and there's people that want to, play a game with Spawn and Shadowhawk exploring 17th century America. There's
So-
just two different types of people.
Robbie? Is your game? Is it like a side scroller?
I actually have a question about Robbie's game.
Hi, yes, this is Robbie. Go ahead.
I'll answer it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Ben, you mentioned a label maker earlier.
Cricket mentioned the label maker.
whoa,
but-
whoa, whoa.
Label maker.
Cricket mentioned the label maker. I just
Ben mentioned it.
enthusiastically supported the label.
Okay, yeah, I think we all see what happened there.
You had a question. We're not going to actually use the label maker. Everything is sorted and organized automatically.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if the label maker is in the game, if there's a way that you could, like, take the label maker out of the
Yes,
wagon
the
and,
la-
like, label stuff within
The
the
label
world.
maker is in the
Yes,
game.
yes,
The
I
label
love
maker's in the
this.
game, and you can absolutely use it to label other stuff for sure.
Are you
Yeah.
You get
Are you talking about taking an item?
you pick up.
Are we talking
a
about
sword.
taking an item that's in the game and using it outside of the game?
Spawn,
No, outside
no,
of the
no,
wagon.
outside of the wagon.
Just
Outside of the
outside
Yeah,
of the
outside of the
wagon.
wagon.
'Cause
Spawn
there's
has a
lots-
sword. Shadowhawk has a sword. There's similar swords.
There's no
Label.
Label
swords.
them. Yes. No, because the
are you
world
talking
is
about there's no
confusing.
swords?
It's big and confusing.
They're not using swords. Spawn
Okay, no, that's
has.
I think that's a way that you could easily differentiate, like, whose weapons belong to which character with the label maker.
Oh,
Absolutely,
my
They're-
goodness.
100%.
See
It's
this?
based on It's based on class.
Oh wow, that's
Whoa.
really progressive. Great, Robbie.
Thank you for your call.
I
Cool.
really
Class
loved
system.
that
we
caller.
have-
That
we
is
have
a
the-
caller.
That is color. Now, I think that you should rethink this label maker thing, Robbie, because first of all, the only positive caller, the only positive comment you've gotten so far in this entire series ever has been this person talking about the label maker. So,
I just
what do you think?
Okay, so let's do the list. Tonight's list is stuff that you can do with the wagon.
Okay, great, perfect timing.
We take calls during the list.
Can't wait.
So
Let's hear what you got.
this is the list. These are the things that you can do with the wagon in the game that I made up. This is the wagon can hold potions.
I'm sorry?
The wagon can hold potions.
Oh, I mean, if you wanted to, it's your wagon, right?
No, it's Spawn and Shadowhawk's wagon.
well,
it can also
you're
store
everything's a
wood and
wagon.
iron for making better weapons or more parts for the wagon. Do you have any
Listen,
idea of things that can go into the wagon?
I mean, I guess like if you had cubbies to hold your stuff, maybe like I don't know, some
Okay,
clothes
so
or some
That's a good idea.
rooms.
There's not a need for. I mean, okay.
What do you mean there's no need for
Okay,
cubbies?
so
it's all in a
can we just
pile?
call them something else? Can we call them like special compartments
No.
or
Let's
like
call
racks?
them
No.
side cubes with holes in the side where you set stuff, but there's no way of covering up the hole.
Okay, you're on the air with electronic game information. We're doing the list. We're talking about things that can go in the wagon.
In the cubbies.
We're here with Ben and Cricket. They are trying to help. And
what would you put in your cubby? Because you get your own, because you got a label maker.
Can we call it? Can we just call it like a rack or something that's a little bit
No, a
more
rack's
like
different.
Let's
kind
just
of?
stick with cubby for now. You can change your
called a cubby.
Yeah, we'll stick with the cubby. What's wrong with the cubby?
I don't.
What would you put in your cubby? You got a label maker. You got your own cubby. What are you putting in there? And what are you labeling?
Okay, so
Labels for your label maker.
You're
I
gonna
love that.
label
Yes.
the label maker.
You are thinking ahead because if you have a label maker and you run out of labels, there is nothing more frustrating.
People always talk about how millennials just don't get it,
Oh.
Okay, so here's the problem with the cubby is that one of the things that is big with the wagon is that you use it to, you can, the wagon has little windows that you can use to personalize, like you can have like an emblem, like a, you can have little, you can draw your own stained glass windows.
Whoa.
And so you need to carry glass around, so you need a special, the glass would need a rack.
You're burying the lead here.
I'm
dude.
not,
Stained glass, that's a great idea.
okay, well thank you. It's gonna be in the game that I made up. They can, you can personalize the windows in the wagon.
That's so awesome.
I think we could
wrap
the list up.
Okay. Okay, that was the list.
You're doing good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we
You're
got some
doing
really
great.
good stuff.
Yeah,
on this.
I'm
Okay.
really happy
Creative
about
process
that.
is difficult.
There was a lot of other things that were gonna go into the wagon that I didn't get to talk about, and I also didn't get to cover the explanation of the quest that Philip leads Spawn and Shadowhawk on that leads them to his father and to the wagon. His father is a blacksmith. Can we, Okay, so that was another episode of Electronic Game Information. We're coming to you live from the Game of the Year Awards for Electronic Game Information 2018. Okay, Ben and Cricket, we're here. They will not be back for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we will be, we'll get into the Game of the Year Awards. I'm sorry.
Cool, man. Can we get going? Because that was
Thank you
really great.
so
Thank you
much.
so much for having us.
Had
But we
such
have
I
to.
love talking to just regular people. I don't get to do that, and that was like so fun.
And we're